For more on the Air India crash, we have Michael Daniel. He's Managing Director at Aviation Insight and also a member of the International Society of Air Safety Investigators. Michael, thank you for making the time to speak with us. A lot of speculation about what went wrong with that ill-fated flight. Having reviewed videos of moments before the crash, what are your assessments of what could have happened?
Okay, I think the most prominent video that's out there now, and there's a few of them where the aircraft is actually taking off, and the time that it's actually flying is just a mere 30 seconds or more. It's not much time. It wasn't in flight for a minute or two. It's a matter of seconds. But what strikes me interesting about looking at the video footage is that when the aircraft lifted at what we call at rotation speed, it starts to lift off, but then it only gains a little bit of altitude and then it descends again. That tells me that the aircraft did not establish a positive rate of climb for whatever reasons. Could be power, could be mechanical, could be loading, weight and balance. But that's going to be a crucial area for the investigators to examine, is why did the aircraft not establish a positive rate of climb? Additionally, as you can see in the video, the landing gear was not brought up. The flaps appear to be retracted, which is contrary to takeoff procedures. They should be actually extended for takeoff. And I didn't see the flaps extended, but they were retracted.
We've heard that the pilot issued a frantic Mayday call to the control tower just 30 seconds after takeoff. How common is it for a flight to face difficulties so early on?
Well, it's very rare, actually, because this is one of the crucial phases of flight where the pilots are heavily trained on is for takeoff and landing. But in particular, when you look at the takeoff, do they have the correct engine thrust? Do they have the correct configuration of the aircraft? Do they have the situational awareness for successful takeoff? And then, so what's interesting as well is that the pilot, not pilot flying, but the pilot on the radio declared a Mayday. For what reasons, we don't know yet. That information will come out quickly once they start analyzing the flight data recorder and perhaps also the cockpit voice recorder.
What kind of challenges do you think the pilot could have been facing in this scenario, looking at that video of how quickly it came down?
Okay, so let's use the process elimination. If you eliminate any security concerns, that's a different channel, different topic altogether. But the weather didn't seem to be that bad. It was, fairly clear, and that might affect the condition of the flight. But I don't see any weather affecting the flight of the aircraft. But again, it's a process elimination. The investigators will look at many, many different areas, including human factors, training, mechanical issues, what caused the pilot to declare Mayday. And I think that will become fairly clear. The government in India will issue its preliminary accident investigation report approximately 30 days from yesterday.
What kind of challenges could investigators face looking at the crash site? What will they have struggled to figure out?
Okay, well, on the crash scene, a lot of the challenges will be, first thing, it happened in a rural area. So there's going to be a lot of people involved, souvenir hunters. The accident scene is somewhat kind of like a crime scene. You have evidence you have to collect. And that will be one of the first challenges for the investigators, is collecting evidence, collecting data, and then the conditions that might affect that. So they have to cordon off the area, make sure people are safe, no one can go in and out, and to ensure that they can start collecting the evidence, including examining the engines, which is also very important to establish why the aircraft could not establish a positive rate of climb.
You mentioned that it will take about 30 days to get some answers on what may have caused the crash. Why is it that investigations take so long? Help us understand. Once they have the black boxes, Why can't they just read the information off them to determine the cause?
Well, the 30-day preliminary report is just an international civil aviation standard. So that's a goal for the accident investigators to issue preliminary information. Hopefully other operators from around can learn, gain information from that. But the final report could take a year, sometimes even longer, because a very complex accident investigation such as this one involves a lot of collaboration between different parties within the accident investigation team. So it's going to be somewhat a challenge time-wise. Transparency is very important. Some governments will issue cockpit voice recording transcripts somewhat early. Some governments will issue air traffic conversation early, but it's up to the government of India as to how much transparency they will provide, and also how much communication will they provide, especially for the victims of the families.
Michael, earlier this hour, there were reports of another Air India flight from Mumbai, also bound for London, making a U-turn. What do you make of this incident, another incident, less than 24 hours after yesterday's crash? Could this point to potential issues with Air India's fleet?
Frankly, I don't think so. I think that's a separate set of issues for the turnaround. In this case, the aircraft already maintained its, met its altitude requirements and was bringing back. As for what conditions, we don't know yet why it did turn around. Is it connected? It's feasible, but right now I don't think it's likely. But we'll see. I mean, that's another event that will be looked into by the accident investigators in India.
Thank you, Michael, for helping us understand the situation and sharing your insights with us. We were speaking to Michael Daniel, Managing Director at Aviation Insight.